With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. Parliament resumes tomorrow morning after Wednesday's swearing in, with today basically being a day of transition for the new government. But Wednesday? The crowds were up front and center to witness firsthand the swearing-in ceremony.
This was such a special day to watch my very first swearing in after voting in my very first election. It's extra special to see Wayne Panton become the premier of the country today, since I was such close friends with his son Alex. Overall, great day for the Cayman Islands. We're also so happy to see so many women elected in Parliament this year. And I'm very hopeful for the change that this new government will be able to make in the country. Exercising your democratic right to vote is one of the most important things that you can do in your life. I know a lot of young people feel disenfranchised and like they can't make a change, that they don't have a voice, but your vote is your voice. Please go out and register to vote. It's never too late. The election is coming again in 2025. And I hope that there's even more young people that are registered to vote by then.
It's been such a special day, and to be able to participate in our democratic process from March 1, when we found out who was running, to see it all come to fruition with members being sworn into Parliament. It's really, really special to watch, and it makes me so appreciative of those, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but the women who fought for our right to vote in the 50s here in Cayman. It makes me that much more appreciative of the privileges we have here.
It was a memorable occasion, and it's a pleasure and an honor to have been here today. And it's very peaceful and professionally laid out. And as a civil servant, I looking forward to giving the government the support, the government of the day, whichever government is in. And I'll just continue to do my part to be as neutral as possible and continue giving the support. Thank you.
A number of government officials and members of what was once the Legislative Assembly joined in on the celebration of Cayman's new government Wednesday. Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego caught up with former Speaker of the House, educator, writer, and historian Mary Lawrence.
What did you think about this historic day, and what does it mean for you?
Well, it means that democracy is alive and well in the Cayman Islands. And, you know, over the years, and I've been here through many of these swearing-in ceremonies, and we all talk about how we're going to form the government, and we all believe that it can't be done, and then it gets done. And I think we all need to give credit to the members of the PAC group who worked so hard to form the government, and at the same time we need to compliment the government that is going out of power, has gone out of power for what they have done as well. I think that as a people we need to learn to work together. It's time to put all of these divisions aside and try to build a country that we all can be proud of and that we can pass on as an inheritance to the next generation. It is not our job to hold it for ourselves or to use it all up for ourselves. It is ours to pass on. Like it was passed on to us, we need to pass it on, and every generation should pass it on better than the generation before.
And Ms. Lawrence, that was beautifully said. What was your highlight?
The Premier's speech. I think that summed up how we all felt, and it also summed up where we need to go. And it also summed up, I think, the path that we all should follow to learn to get along with each other. It is time to put the divisions aside and build a country. While I heard the speaker say, while we're dealing with fire ants, elephants are trampling us, we need to remember that everything here is bigger than us. And everything here is for the next generation, not for us only.
That is former Speaker of the House, Mary Lawrence. During the swearing-in, His Excellency Governor Martin Roper highlighted the need for a code of conduct.
I believe one of the messages the public clearly sent in these elections is about the great importance attached to the integrity and behaviour of elected parliamentarians, ministers and senior officials. I therefore welcome the incoming government's announcement it will agree a code of conduct for parliamentarians. I hope we can also agree a code of conduct for cabinet ministers.
Mr. Roper also touched on the relationship between the Cayman Islands and the UK, which he says is in very good shape.
I look forward to continuing to play my part to strengthen it further. Where UK technical expertise can be helpful, I will continue to do my utmost to secure it. one area of major concern is climate change and the environment, an existential priority for our entire planet, and highlighted by the public and many of the candidates during the campaign. The UK is open to assisting the new government on analysing the risks of climate change, renewable energy, biodiversity, and any other areas that would be helpful.
Mr. Oper also paid tribute to the outgoing premier for his contribution to the islands, particularly in his steering the country through the global pandemic. Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reporting 471 COVID-19 tests carried out since our last report on Wednesday. All were negative. The number of people in isolation currently is 792. To date, 63,838 COVID-19 vaccines have been administered. In other local news, shortly before 4:30 this morning, officers responded to a report of a robbery at a convenience store on Eastern Avenue north of School Road. It was reported a man went into the store brandishing a handgun at a staff member demanding cash. He took off with an undisclosed amount of cash. No shots were fired and no one was hurt in the incident. The suspect is described as being about 6 feet tall with a slim build and was last seen wearing a long-sleeved shirt, black pants, black shoes, gloves, and he had his face covered. The matter is currently under investigation, and anyone with information is asked to call Georgetown CID at 949-4222. Anonymous tips can be provided to the RCIPS confidential tip line at 949-7777, or you can also leave a tip online. The second Cayman Islands Biennial features a tri-island multi-venue art project showcasing the very latest developments in the contemporary art scene. It opens to the public tomorrow. This year, the project is organized under the title Reimagined Futures, and the curatorial team has invited artists to respond to the monumental upheavals that took place in 2020. In keeping with the concept of a biennial, which is a large-scale multi-site exhibition project featuring numerous artists every 2 years, the artworks are being displayed simultaneously at 5 different locations across the Cayman Islands. National Gallery Director Natalie Urquhart.
Together, these sites create a platform for a series of dynamic conversations between the exhibited artworks and the broader social and cultural context in which they are situated.
Project hosts include the National Gallery as the biennial's primary organizer, along with Owen Roberts International Airport, the National Trust Mission House, the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park, the Little Cayman Museum, and special programming in Cayman Brac. A call to restore our Earth as Cayman joins the rest of the world in observing World Earth Day. Earth Day 2021 activities include the annual Chamber Earth Day cleanup event that is held this Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. The community is encouraged to show their support by sponsoring and recruiting teams to clean trash off our beaches and roadways. You can reach out to communications at caymanchamber.ky for more information. The Ministry of Environment is also urging residents to celebrate Earth Day by taking action to save the planet. In a written statement, they're asking residents to ask themselves a few questions. What part did I play in making our environment better? What can we do to continue to keep nature in a constant space of regrowth? And what can we as a community do to move forward positively? The ministry encourages you to head to earthday.org or access ideas and an action toolkit to help you get started. That is your latest local news from Radio Cayman's Newsroom. I'm April Cummings.